YouTube, what is going on? Your boy Young Mustard is back with another video, and today we are here to talk about the most improved player of the year for next season. For those who already know, I am doing a series of videos where I'm going to be talking about the player who should win a certain award, and today we are going to talk about the most improved player of the year, like I said earlier, and I'm going to give some honorable mentions, and then I'm going to get into the people that I really actually can see winning the award. But without further ado, if you are not following me on Twitter, make sure you follow me on Twitter. All of my social media links will be down in the description box. Also, make sure you comment your opinions down below, drop a like and subscribe. But without further ado, let's get on with this video. Now, starting with the honorable mentions, the first person I want to talk about a little bit is Terry Rozier. A lot of people are saying his numbers may go up and he may be a candidate for this award. I personally see it as he's going to put up some points and some assists, maybe some rebounds and stuff, but he's going to be pretty inefficient. And if he's pretty inefficient, a lot of people are just going to chalk it up as empty stats. And if that's the case, I just don't see him winning that award. Now, moving on to Brandon Ingram and Lonzo Ball. Now, Brandon Ingram is definitely one of the more entertaining young players in the league. Really solid defender, can shoot the mid-range really well, but the problem is he's not a great floor spacer. He doesn't really attempt that many threes, and he can kind of hit some from time to time, but just not enough to the point that I can label him a consistent or even a good three-point shooter. And in New Orleans, I don't really think that's a great team for him, so players like him and Lonzo Ball, they got to step up when it comes to shooting, and I don't see them really stepping up in a major way, especially for Brandon Ingram's case, or at least not in a major way for him to win the most improved player of the year. And that also goes to Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball got to fix a lot of stuff. He got to be able to fix those free throws and that three-point shot, and hopefully he can get that down. But as of now, I just don't see them becoming a contender for this award with the flaws that they still have in their games, and that situation not really being the most ideal place to take care of those flaws. But moving on to the next player, we have Jason Tatum. Now, Jason Tatum I definitely think is one of the more entertaining young players. I hate the team, I hate the Boston Celtics. That organization can really kiss my ass, but when I look at Jason Tatum, he definitely has a chance to win the award. But I'm gonna put him at honorable mention because he is going to be sharing the ball still with a player like Kemba Walker, still with a player like Jaylen Brown, who wants a max contract, but that's a topic for another discussion. He's still going to have to share the ball with a Gordon Hayward. Yes, he's still gonna have to share a lot of these touches, and I don't see him getting enough numbers to really be considered for this award. And now let's move on to the last person that I have as an honorable mention. I got Trae Young. Now, I really do like Trae Young. I think he's one of the best shooters in the league. Last year his numbers don't really show it from the overall perspective, but in the second half of the year he just went off. He took control of the entire NBA and took a shit on it, and I definitely think he has a chance to do the same thing next year. But when it comes to a guy like Trae Young, I don't really see his points and assists going up or down in any major way. I think those are going to stay relatively the same. What I see in his numbers changing is his efficiency. I do see his efficiency getting way better next year. I see the turnovers going down a little bit because he does need to get better in that area, and I hope he will improve in that. But those aren't improvements that are going to win the most improved player of the year. It's a little bit more of a flashier type of deal. You have to improve in areas like your points going up in a major way or your rebounds going up in a major way. Those are the things I see for the most improved player of the year, usually when it's given out. But moving on to the legit candidates that we have for this award, at the number 5 position, I have Lauri Markkanen. Lauri Markkanen definitely has a chance to win this award. Side by side with Zach LaVine, I definitely think that he's the guy for us, and I can definitely see our organization moving in such a bright direction if we keep building around him. I think as a floor spacer, he's one of the best shooters in the league already at such a young age. He can rebound almost at an elite level. Last year he was basically a 20 and 10 guy for a good part of the season, which a lot of people don't want to talk about. Defensively, he's not really good, but I definitely see improvements if you watch him play. He has gotten so much better on the pick and roll, and I love him for it. He is not a liability in the way that guys like Enes Kanter is, and I definitely think that he will improve in that area as well. But the reason that I have him at number 5 is really for 2 reasons. I don't see us winning enough games to make the playoffs. Obviously, we're just not that good right now, and also because, let's be real, he has had some injuries in the past, and that could derail his run at this award. But moving on to the next player that I have at the number 4 spot for this award, I have Jaren Jackson Jr. Jaren Jackson Jr., such a great defender. Last year was amazing in his rookie year. His numbers really don't show it, but he's one of the best shooters of his draft class. Such an amazing defender. He could be a candidate for Defensive Player of the Year as soon as this next season. He is going to be amazing on the defensive side of the ball. He's what you want from the power forward. He can score. I definitely think his post moves are a lot better than a lot of people give him credit for. The only problem that I really have with him is that he's a little bit skinny, so sometimes he gets bullied in the post, but with more weight added on him. And finally, a coach that will give him the minutes that he deserves. He is definitely a candidate for the Most Improved Player of the Year. But moving on to player number 3, I have Bam Adebayo. Bam Adebayo is definitely, and I mean definitely, the real dark horse for this award, and I could see him actually coming through and winning it. But the reason I do have him a little bit lower is that offensively, let's be real, he is a little bit limited in comparison to some other guys in the league. So I don't know how far his offensive numbers will jump, but his rebounding, I do expect him to be a double-double guy next year. I definitely think he can do that. And defensively, I see him having a huge impact. With him and Jimmy Butler on that team, that is a scary duo on the defensive side of the ball right there. And I could see his impact on that side of the ball going up, especially now that they do not have Hassan Whiteside anymore. But moving on to player number 2, I have Malcolm Brogdon. Malcolm Brogdon next year could really be a 20-point per game scorer, but a lot of people are really sleeping on what he could do in the NBA. This is a guy that can handle the ball, can pass really well. Obviously, I'm not saying he's on the level of passing of a guy like Chris Paul or something, but I could see his assists going to around 5 to 6 a game. And his scoring, last year he was a 50-40-90 shooter, averaging 15 points per game. A lot of people forget he averaged 15 playing behind a Giannis, a Eric Bledsoe, and a Chris Middleton. He was literally the 4th option on that team, and I think that next year, being probably the number 1 option on that team, averaging 20 is not out of the realm of possibility. But the reason that I do have him not at the number 1 position is really because Victor Oladipo will be coming back some point in the season, but I just don't know when he's going to be coming back. And depending on when Victor Oladipo comes back, that could decrease some of Malcolm Brogdon's scoring averages a little bit down towards the end of the year, so I really just don't know. But I do still see him being a legit candidate for this award because he's great at everything, and I definitely think that he will improve at every single aspect, and his numbers will finally show how good of a player that he really is. But moving on to the last person that I have at the number 1 position, I have De'Aaron Fox. I'm expecting De'Aaron Fox to jump to a huge level next year. Guys like him, Luka Doncic, Buddy Hield, I'm expecting them to be the guys of this next generation that are going to be all-stars. Maybe not in the case of Buddy Hield, but De'Aaron Fox, Luka, those guys, I'm expecting them to be this next generation to carry us after LeBron and all those guys leave. And that's the kind of breakout year that I'm expecting from a guy like De'Aaron Fox, because I'm expecting him to be a 20-point per game scorer on really good efficiency, because from behind the line, he has gotten so much better, and I am really happy for him because that was a little bit of a scare of mine when he was coming into the NBA. But with the more consistent 3-point shot, I could see his points per game going up to around 20 to 21 points. Also, I could see his assists going up because his assists could go to nearly 10 a game. I could see him being a 20 and 10 guy, especially with the improvement in teammates like Buddy Hield and Marvin Bagley. I expect those assists to keep getting up for a guy like De'Aaron Fox. And also defensively, I see him taking a jump as well that a lot of people are not talking about. People always say he's a really solid defender, and that is true, but next year I see him taking strides to becoming a potential borderline elite defender. So in all areas of the game of basketball, and I think it's going to get to the point where it's just so obvious that he is literally the most improved player in the NBA. But that concludes this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you drop a like down below. Also comment your opinions. I would love to know what you guys thought about this video. If you think I put anybody on this video that shouldn't be here, or if I left anybody off this video that should be here, let me know down below in the comment section. Also hit that subscribe button if you have not done so, and hit the bell to be notified after each and every video that I post. Also follow me on social media if you have not done that. All those links will be in the description box. This is your boy Young Mustard signing out. Peace.